Welcome back, MTG Joe here. We are here officially live with Spider Dudes. Close to Spider-Man, but due to legal reasons, we cannot identify it as Spider-Man on Arena or MTGO. But the new set has released on Arena. It's called Omenpath, but this is the Spider-Man set. It is basically day one, and as we do tradition here, while we normally do best decks, we look at all the stats very early. So what this is really trying to do is pull some day one decks, some ideas people are playing, stuff that's working. I'm also going to feature some decks that aren't working, maybe some popular kind of ideas that people might have had during early access, stuff like that. Now they've kind of done the gauntlet of the ladder, try to potentially save you some wild cards early. You are concerned with wild cards if you're saving up. Wait on crafting decks. You usually want to wait like at least a week or 2 weeks. I will put out a couple of these videos as we kind of go into the weekend, as we start getting larger data sets. There's been like one MTGO league right now with the new cards. There's been basically a day of arena ladder data, so not a huge amount. So we're going to combine standard best of 1 and best of 3 for this video. So I'll kind of tag them in the video description in terms of which decks they are, so you can go from there. And as always, if you enjoy this type of content, you want to keep up to date with the meta, make sure to subscribe. We're almost at 20,000 on the channel, so greatly appreciate it if you can. And finally, the folks at Untapped GG, what you see on the screen, have given me 10 codes for Untapped Premium to give away. So comment on the video your favorite card from Spider-Man, Omenpath, Spider Omenpath, and I will choose some random winners over the weekend and send you that code for a month free of Untapped Premium. So let's jump into it. We will look at basically best of 1 first, and then we'll go to best of 3. Best of 1, so this Sultai deck has got about 60% win rate, and it is kind of like Living End, if you would, in Modern. So the new card here is Kavero the Mind Bitten, or what's really cool with Untap, they give us the other name, so Superior Spider-Man. It's a 4 mana Demir. It basically enters as a copy of any card in the creature or in your graveyard or in a graveyard. So notably, it also works with your opponents. And it is going to basically become a copy of it. So what you do is you self-mill in this deck, and you want Kavero to become a copy of Bringer of the Last Gift. Because Kavero was cast, it basically replicates all its conditions. So instead of trying to cast 8 mana, you cast a 4 mana version of it. This reanimates all cards from their graveyard and puts them into play. What you're basically doing is stacking multiple copies of Harvester of Misery that will then kill all the creatures, and with Vein Ripper, each creature dying will then gain a bunch of life and drain your opponent out. So it's kind of a Sultai Reanimator. You're drawing and discarding with like Steamcore Scholar, Awaken the Honor Dead, Tempest Harvest, Town Greeter, stuff like that, and kind of go to town that way there. The other deck, so this one was from Flesh Grafter. They went 16 and 5. So some of these are smaller sample sizes. We're still kind of playing. So this is another Reanimator deck with Kavero. So this one is looking to do kind of the same idea. Kavero and Zombify are now, you have 8 or 7 to 8 copies, depending on how many you want to play, of this reanimation effect. Kavero can become Arden, which then reanimates something, gives haste. Ideally, if you do the Thunder Hulk, it comes in with base power 4/4, and then it comes in with 3 counters. And so then you would basically get to make 7 tokens when it comes in, and it has haste. So you get some value there. You can reanimate Meringue River. Honestly, the shell you can put in Valgavoth or whatever big thing. If you want to play the Cactuar, you can kind of go from there as well. Overlords, Kioras, always kind of fill your graveyard in that case there. So 2 decks that I want to just highlight for best of 1 that aren't doing too good. So in general, the Spider tribal decks are all sub 50%. The Naya version, the Skrull version, they're not doing too hot. So if this one's at 40%, so your Scarlet Spider, Spinner of Souls, kind of Oops All Spiders, the Spider Punk that gives your spiders Riot. This one's playing like Ouroboros on the top end. So this one's not doing too hot. I'm not going to go deep dive right now because I don't really want people to spend the wild cards on something that might not actually play out. So that one's not doing too well. Spiders in general, probably a hold right now. You can see, like in my case, I need 19 rare wild cards, and I'm pretty good in terms of standard cards, but this is heavy on the new set that might not be winning. The other deck is mono black. This one's got 200 games played with 40% win rate. This one's playing a little bit more mono black control. Some of these numbers are also probably not the most refined, but we're seeing Villainous Wrath in here as a sweeper that also deals damage to the opponent. You're winning with Ashiok. The one of Bloodletter seems kind of odd in this list. You have Unholy Annex, Cavern. So this just looks like a somewhat unrefined version. You have the Terminus, the Soul Stone that can reanimate stuff, but you're not playing that many creatures, so not really fitting the shell. We also have a new card in Lewis Pompous Pillager, Moreland Devourer of Spiders. So this can be like a fireball to your opponent and a big life linker as well. So mono black, there's probably versions of mono black that are reasonable. I don't think this is kind of the go-to. So moving over to best of 3. Not really new cards, but this deck's been putting up some results on MTGO recently. Some people are kind of getting ahead of the potential VV or Cauldron ban. So this is Izzet minus VV and Cauldron, just showing that the deck's still kind of busted. This one's at 55%, but still putting up like MTGO results, stuff like that. Just want to quickly show, because we haven't done this for about a week. But basically, it's a Proft deck, just a lot of draw, discard, Quantum Riddler on the top end, full Steam Core Scholar. And the one card here is Frostcliff Siege. Basically, you select the Temur version for the most part and give yourself Trample and Haste. So pushes through damage, they can't really chump block, and lets you kind of go off and push through a whole bunch of power. So that's kind of that version there. A lot of similarities, but if you're kind of trying to get ahead of the band, something to consider. One thing I'd probably add is the new Multiversal Passage. Basically the new shock land that picks a color and kind of goes from there. In terms of the standard leagues, there was 150 featuring new cards. So this one here is another Reanimator. So Cavero seems to be like the big breakout card. So we have Arden, FOMO, Overlord, Steam Core Scholar, Tursa, and Valgavoth. So it's like a Proft deck with like a reanimation backup plan. So interesting kind of shell there. We have the Multiversal Passage. It's really annoying that they don't show these new cards, but this is the new Shockland. Exclusive Nightclub is the new Grixis land, the one that it has Madness, so if you discard it, you can play it from your graveyard. So some interesting cards there. Pretty stock sideboard, removal, some Preacher for the grindier matchups if your opponent's attacking your graveyard, and hate counters, Qarsi for the aggressive decks. So this deck here is from Will Urker. They went 10-0 into Mythic, and we'll take a look at their deck here. It's a Simic deck, and it's built around, where are you? Druneth, Reviver of the Hive. So 2 mana, 1/1, and then Trample. So whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to its power, copy that spell, except copy isn't legendary, then you put a counter on Druneth. So this deck here is kind of sweet. It's like a tempo-y small creature stuff. So you have like Flood Pit's Drowner, Keen Eye, the Mist Breath Elder, 1 mana, 2/2. Beginning of your upkeep, you return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, you put a counter on it. Otherwise, you return the Mistbender. So this can reset your Druneth, can reset your various creatures to get more token copies. Mockingbird becomes copies of creatures. Paw Patch, Siren. The Druid lets you like kind of put counters. So it's kind of just like a tricky bounce, get some value. We have Spider Ham. It's basically the pig Spider-Man, but this one's Terra Tusk, Unwisely Inwoken. So when it enters, you create a food token, then other boars, bats, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, just basically the whole gambit. So basically Bloomburrow, all those creature types get a boost, so it's a multi-lord effect. Valley Quest Caller gets bigger off all your stuff too. Repulsive Mutation and Commune for some card advantage. Your sideboard, you have like Tashana's for activated abilities, Spell Pierce for cheap disruption, Scrap Shooter, Artifact Enchantment Hate, Moldadder for like the blue-black decks, Kidnap to gain control of stuff. You have Floodmaw for bounce, Ghost Vacuum, and the Dreadmaw and Trancer can tap some stuff down, also provide you some card advantage. So moving on, we have this one's from Doomwake, smaller sample size, but I was watching a bit of it yesterday. The deck looked pretty sweet, all things considered. 6/2. This is a mono blue tempo deck, and it's built around the Hydroman, Fluid Felon, Bellion the Parched. So it's a 2 mana 2/2. And then whenever you cast a blue spell, it's basically Prowess, but for basically any blue spells. Beginning of your end step, you untap it, and it becomes a land till your turn. So Gets around sorcery speed removal. It helps you pseudo ramp, so it lets you on turn 2 hold up Spell Pierce, or like Flash of a Spectral Sailor, a card draw effect, a Flood Maw. And then this version here is just a bunch of flash threats. You have Curiosity, refill your hand, Fade Blooms, tap stuff down. So just kind of tricky tempo, some counters, some tap stuff down, just poke through damage as you kind of go. Sideboard, you have a Null for Artifact Enchantments, Graveyard Hate, Spectral Restitching is Hide on the Ceiling, so exile artifacts or creatures, return the exiled cards to the battlefield, so just kind of a phase out effect. Unable to scream for bigger stuff, Screaming Nemesis. Beastbinder can tap down like anything with like Cauldron, VV, creatures, big stuff. You have Detect Intrusion. This is basically like a Stifle style effect. Kaido in here. This one here just for the grindier matchups. Stoetic Sphinx, just a bigger threat. Could close the game out a little bit faster. This one's from Shahar Shenhar. They went 5-1. It's a Golgari kind of Villains Wagon deck. So Shahar loves Lumbering Wagon, but this deck here, it's like Golgari mid. We have Sandman in here. Power toughness equal to the number of lands. Can come back from your graveyard. So it's just a scalable threat that's recursive. You have the Lewis, just another kind of fireball effect. Helps you stabilize early. Reiko here is Craven, so 3 mana, 4/3 trample. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with greatest power among them dies, you draw a card and put a counter on it, so it just gets bigger over time. And then we have the Gwenin Remorseless, 5 mana, 4/4 Death Touch lifelink. When it attacks in a turn, you may look at the top card of your library, and you can play the cards basically, paying life instead of their mana value, so it could let you just kind of pop off in that respect. Sideboard, just a lot of good Golgari answers to things right now. The Multiversal Passage, I think, if you're going to craft anything from the set, this is probably the most versatile card. It's going to basically go into any 2+ color decks, I think. Just really flexible to fix the mana for you. And the last deck here, this one's from Ali Eldrazi. It's a Temur Ramp deck, so Ice Till, so we see Sandman in here, but we have Ice Till, Kellen for Ramp, Roxanne is kind of a threat, Esper Origins, and then it's Dragonback Assault, Doppelgang effect. So if you like big mana, kill stuff, ramp, play big stuff, make a bunch of tokens, kind of mixed into there. I don't think there's anything in the sideboard from the new set, but just a lot of kind of interaction stuff of that different nature. Misrise if your opponent's on a lot of counters, for example, but give you another kind of ramp option that's in the format. So that's it. I'll be back tomorrow if there's more data. Otherwise, be back Friday and we'll kind of go from there. So make sure if you want to enter the Untap contest, drop a comment with your favorite card from the new set. Thanks for watching.